first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers and by Papa John's. The day after every Flyers win, get 50% off your online order at papajohns.com using promo code FLYERS. Just about ready for the final game of this regular season. The Flyers and Hurricanes. Hurricanes eliminated from the playoff chase a little over a week ago. The Flyers, of course, preparing for the Rangers. The series starting on Thursday.
Let's take a look at our Kia starting goaltenders. For the Carolina Hurricanes, Anton Khudobin, who's played more than any other Carolina goalie. And guess who's jumping out of the cake for the Flyers today? Getting ready to play his first minute of NHL hockey is Cal Heater, who has played in the American League for the Adirondack Phantoms for the last 2 seasons. He gets his first NHL start.
Yeah, a lot of reports, previews of this game have deemed it meaningless. I can tell you right now that it is anything but meaningless to the guy standing between the pipes at the other end from this guy. Right there, Cal Heater. This is a very meaningful game for Cal Heater, and also up and in the lineup for the Flyers, Jason Akeson, as he will play his second National Hockey League game. He scored in his first, and he is on the ice as this game gets underway wearing uniform number 42. Flyers, the orange jerseys, road whites for the Hurricanes, who have won all 3 of the season series thus far and will try to sweep the Flyers for the first time since they became the Carolina Hurricanes. Last time they did it, they were the Hartford Whalers. Flyers will try to prevent that here this afternoon. Battle on the wall. The Flyers resting some players. Of course, some injuries as well. You saw in the ceremonies before the game that both Steve Mason and Michael Raffl were in street clothes. They are getting the day off. Raffl pretty much just getting rested. He was dinged a little bit yesterday, and Steve Mason is day-to-day with an upper body injury. Flyers certainly hoping to have him back and ready to go for the series with the Rangers. Here's Braden Shen with a shot that takes off and finds glass all the way out into center ice. There's big Hal Gill back in the lineup as he played yesterday in Pittsburgh and gets in here today playing his 6th game of the year. And here's Tom again to the puck. Back to Hal Gill and across. That shot by Streit. Save made by Khudobin. Into the corner it goes. Braden Shen battling there with McGinn. And now it's Wayne Simmons. Simmons turning with it. Send it back around behind the net. The Canes will come up with it. And they'll chip it off glass to the neutral zone, but it's intercepted there by McGinn. And Tom McGinn will send it right back into the Carolina zone.
Hal Gill is the new Frank Bates of the Philadelphia Flyers, where he can sit out like he did since December and play like he did yesterday. Frank Bates used to be able to do the same thing, right, Bill?
Absolutely. I tried it a couple of times, too. 39 one year.
Wow, really?
Oh, yeah.
Here's
how'd that go for you?
Not so good.
Oh, I'm sure you got back into the lineup and there's no rust whatsoever. Here is Mike Komisarek trying to get one through. It was blocked. Jeff Skinner reaching for the puck, leading goal scorer for the Canes. His next goal will be a career high. He takes the shot, and there it is. Jeff Skinner beating Heater. You'd like Cal Heater to have a nice soft shot for his first NHL shot. Instead, he gets a sniper for the Canes. Skinner point blank, and Skinner beats him to make it 1-0 Carolina.
Now, if anybody's wondering why Jeff Skinner is such a natural scorer, and this is number 32, take a look.
Yeah, that's why it was the Calder Trophy winner as the Rookie of the Year. As look at this, just a quick wrist shot, actually a little bit more of a snapshot, and bang, Heater goes down to the butterfly, and Skinner knew exactly where that was going. He got every piece of that puck.
If Eric Gustafson had that to do over again, I'm sure he would have moved out on Skinner a little sooner, but Skinner had time to let that rocket fly.
His 32nd goal of the year, which is the most he's had in his career. He had 31 back in his Calder Trophy winning season. So the Canes, who have been a slow starting team for the most part this year, have the first one here tonight. Here's Braden Coburn with the puck, or this afternoon. The sun is still out outside. Afternoon game. Cavalier trying to get that puck in. It is cut off. Big hit on Eric Stahl by Jay Rosehill. Flyers come up with the puck. All trying to chip it to the Cavalier, but instead it's the Canes moving it through center ice. Here Taluski trying to get to it. He's cut off by Matt Reed. And Streit will throw it around to the other side of the ice. There's Akeson. He scored a goal in his very first NHL shot. Moves the puck to Reed. Reed carries in. Reed holds. He waits. Back out to Gill with a wrist shot, and it goes wide as Atkinson could not redirect it, and it does hop out of play. The virtuous scratches from the lineups here this afternoon. Sekera out at abdominal surgery. This season is over. Semin done as well. Yoni Pickett has missed the entire year for the Canes. Steve Mason, we said an upper body injury day today. Zach Rinaldo finishes out his 4-game suspension here today. Nick Grossman will be ready for the playoffs. Steve Downey is out as well. So some injuries cropping up for the Flyers here late in the season. Most of the players expected to be back.
Yep, I think it would characterize, oh, look at this, Simmons with a chance, but I think it would characterize most of the injuries the Flyers have as nicks more than injuries. So that's the good news. Been a healthy season for the Flyers.
It has.
Compared to many in the NHL, and especially compared to last season.
You mentioned it in the pregame show. The Flyers officially now, with everyone having dressed for this game, 7 players that will play in all 82 games this year, and that is a new franchise record for a full season. 6 had been the previous record, but that's a lot. You're talking about roughly a third of your team playing every game. This doesn't happen.
Unless you've tried to do it and be a player and go through 82 games, you might not really understand just how tough it is to be healthy all those games.
And there's no question those 7 players, probably all of them, played through some sort of injury at some
question. Yep.
There's Wayne Simmons around behind the net. Braden Shen, one of those, playing 82, as is Simmons. Puck pops free, kept in by Gustafsson. Back along the corner boards, they battle. McGinn tried to dig it out of there as Braden Shen is pinned. McGinn does get the puck. McGinn now turning it back along for Shen, who's still being checked by Komisarek. Komisarek plays it up the boards. Gustafsson pinched, but the Canes will move it past him. Nash the pass, and it's guided into the Philadelphia zone by Harrison. Played is Luke Shen, and the Flyers will look to start up. 4.5 minutes in. Glad you could join us for the regular season finale. Jake Voracek sent it diagonally into the Carolina zone. Giroux gets to it, centered it, and went off a Falk, and then Voracek carried it further out of the slot area. Now Jake Voracek coming off the 3-point game yesterday, both he and Giroux, with 3 points in the win in Pittsburgh. Giroux's pass for Voracek cut off. It's a 3-on-2 the other way for the Canes. Justin Falk joining the rush with the pass. The Borek's pass knocked down by Timonen. Borek will take a shot here. Heater will glove that. Thought about hanging on, but instead drops it off for Timonen. Giroux bounces that one in. And Khudobin will just guide it to the corner. Only 1 shot apiece. Now they just gave the Flyers a shot for that one from center ice. Got a lot of shots on goal, and I'm sure Cal Heater just hoping to get a shot that's savable. You know, one that's not a
unstoppable
seed from Jeff Skinner. Yeah, I mean, that was really unfair for Cal Heater to get his first NHL shot that way, but that's the way it breaks down somewhere.
Sure, it looked like a puck when Skinner launched it, and by the time it got to Heater, it looked like a BB.
Indeed it did. As Eric Stahl is shot, and Heater handles that one. He fights it off and is able to cover.
What was the last goalie to win wear 33? Dominic Roussel before Heater?
That's a heck of a question.
I think it is.
I think you might be right. What number did Bush wear?
Was Bush? I think Bush was 33, wasn't he, Coatsy?
Oh.
I mean, Bush had several
numbers
as a Flyer, but I'm pretty sure he was
Pick
33.
one.
But how else were you going to get Dominic Roussel into this show?
He gave me $15. He sent it to me.
Job well done, Coatsy.
Thank you. The only guy
That
was
was
a goalie.
Canadian too, by the way.
The only goalie that couldn't catch a baseball.
Dominic Roussel?
No.
I'm sure that held him back in his hockey career. Here's Atkinson with the puck. Atkinson holding on and then shuttling it back down, hoping for Couturier. Couturier tipped it past one Hurricane, but Ron Hainsey was there, and he'll maneuver it out to center ice. These Canes will miss the playoffs for a 5th consecutive season. They're one of 4 NHL teams that have missed the playoffs in at least the last 5 years. Not sitting well with the folks down in Raleigh.
They made the playoffs once since winning the Stanley Cup.
That's right.
2006.
Right. It's been a dry spell for them. They thought this year they were going to be able to put something together, but just no consistency, icing the call here.
So how about it? The Flyers and the New York Rangers in the first round of the playoffs. Is that any good? Well, you can talk with a representative right now about playoff tickets for games 3 and 4. All you got to do is call 215-218-PUCK or go online, PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. You don't want to miss it. Tickets are available.
Hard to believe they have not met in the playoffs since 1997.
Really is.
And the Flyers were on their way to the finals in that one.
Boy, they just dominated the Rangers in that series.
There's a shot from the slot by Skinner again. And Heater got that one, knocked it aside. Simmons moves it up through center. He's still got the puck, but has to turn back as a couple of his mates were ahead of him. And he'll drop it back to Gill. Gill to McGinn. McGinn trying to get that one through to Schenn, and he does. Brayden Schenn all the way across for Streit. Streit ending the season on a hot note as he has points in 5 consecutive games. Had the game winner yesterday in Pittsburgh. Gill knocks down the clear. Second try they get it past him. Streit to go off his boot at the Philadelphia line, and then Gill will play it back to Brayden Schenn. Brayden Schenn, one of 7 20-goal scorers on this Flyers team. No other NHL team has more than 5. That's the kind of balance they will lean on come playoff time. There's a cross-ice pass from Harrison that goes off Manny Malhotra into the Philadelphia zone. Gill back to keep it away from Malhotra. And ahead it goes to Scott Hartnell. Malhotra trying to track him down from behind. Hartnell will get the red line and jam it into the Carolina zone. Back is John Michael Lyles. He did not get it past Eric Gustafsson. Andre Laksianov working on Gustafsson. Gustafsson stays with it. Pokes it down low. Malhotra and Hartnell cancel. Voracek gets the puck back out. Lucien de Giroux for a shot that's blocked. Taken by the Canes and pitched out through center and down the ice by Lyles. Schenn will bank it at, and here go the Flyers again. Voracek looking for Giroux. It was tipped, and now the captain will just swing it deep into the Carolina zone and head off on a change. Played almost 8.5 minutes. Glad you could join us on Comcast Sportsnet. 1-0 Canes. Here's Eric Staal with a shot. Score! That one got through Heater, and the captain for the Canes is on the board. It's 2-0 Carolina.
Well, I'll tell you, you have to feel for Cal Heater. No real chance to establish a rhythm in this game, but the one thing the Flyers goalie coach Jeff Reese told us before the game is that he shakes negatives off pretty quickly, strong mentally. He's going to have to dig in here. He would like that one back.
You know, this is just a matter of the goaltender coming in and maybe nerves taking over, because you've got to react, not think. I think that Heater right now is just thinking before reacting, and he's just doing everything a little late. Right there, a little bit. A shot he should have had through the 5-hole, but let's go back to what we just talked about. You got to move instinctively.
Well, you also have to play the shot. Coachy, it almost looked like he was cheating a little bit over to Yuri Tlusty, trying to guard against the deflection. So
what is it we all do too much when we're nervous and anxious? We try to do too much. I think that's probably what he was guilty of right there. Trying to play the pass and the shot. And it ends up into that. Tlusty and Falk assist. Eric Staal hitting the 20-goal mark. Eric Staal has more shorthanded goals this year than power play goals. That is one of those stats that screams at you it has not been a good year for the Hurricanes. Play stopped. Eric Staal on the board. Canes lead 2-0. Canes have the jump. 2-0. Kurt Muller, third year as head coach in Carolina, looking to get that record evened up as the season ends.
But every team goes through their exit analysis of the season, and having missed the playoffs again, you know that Kurt Muller is wondering where he will end up next year, whether it's behind the Carolina bench or another bench. Same with Jim Rutherford, the Canes general manager, who at one point late in the season was actually reported to be on the verge of stepping aside and letting Ron Francis take over as the Carolina GM. Then came out and said, whoa, that's a little premature. So without a doubt, Carolina is again in a state of flux, I think. And
remarkably, Bill, for a franchise that has gone through the numbers we detailed earlier in terms of their lack of playoff participation, Kurt Muller is only the third man to coach the team since they moved to Carolina. Paul Maurice had 2 stints and Peter Laviolette. That's it.
I'll say this about Jim Rutherford, the GM. He's patient. A patient man. Gives guys a chance to implement their systems and to get things going.
Approaching the midpoint of this first period. Canes have outshot the Flyers 6-3. They have the lead where it counts 2-0. As Matt Reed backhands through center, bounces off of Couturier to Streit. They're moving on the right wing. Now back across for Reed. He scores!
'Jason Atkinson
National Hockey League assist on Matt Reed's 22nd goal of the year. It is 2-1 as Reed scores for Casey Tasty.
Well, this is a thing of beauty all the way along, starting with Hal Gill deep in the Flyers zone, and then Matt Reed getting the puck to the middle of the ice, over to Atkinson, and here comes Reed.
Atkinson's going to look. He knows he's got Reed as a trailer. Advantage to Reed. As a right-hand shot, playing the left wing, he can just move right into it. And Carolina, nobody picked up the guy away from the puck.
Jason Atkinson gets a goal in his first National Hockey League game and gets his first assist in his second National Hockey League game. Who knows what he'll have in store for us in game number 82 next year.
He's a smart player and a gifted offensive player. Great touch.
Very good numbers.
I still can't believe he wasn't drafted coming out of junior when he was a co-leader in scoring in the Ontario League.
Yeah, great numbers in junior and good numbers in the AHL, considering that the Phantoms were offensively challenged at times this year, but he still put together a year with 64 points in 70 games.
Led them in scoring for the third consecutive year.
Thinks the game, looks around, understands where people have to be, and I think probably the reason he didn't get drafted was size, and he's not the quickest skater in the world.
Assist to Atkinson, as we said, and strike on that goal by Reed as Peter as that bucket into some traffic. Art Strike now a 6-game point streak to end the regular season. It's right up to 43 points for the year. You're thinking about career high, he had 62 points with Montreal back in 08. Don't see a lot of 60-point seasons from defensemen in the NHL anymore. Mark Streit has one. There's Derby, a shot fought off by Heater. The diminutive one, Nathan Gerby, who had a between-the-leg shot against the Flyers earlier this year. And now Harrison, a shot. The glove saved by Heater in the crowd, letting him hear it. Nice stuff. For our final regular season Gwinnett University game notes. Lots of news around the NHL. Retirement out in Edmonton. Brendan Shanahan changing jobs. Ryan Smith, what a career he's had. Put up tremendous numbers, and he was a gutsy player. Those Edmonton Oilers and some other clubs as well, as you see there. He is hanging him up, and Brendan Shanahan going from working for the NHL to being that honcho with the Leafs.
Congratulations to Brendan Shanahan. Got a pretty good nucleus of a team to work with, especially now that Toronto has goaltending.
There are those matchups again in the Eastern Conference. Again, the only undetermined factor there, the home ice advantage in that second series there, Montreal and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay can get home ice with a win today. I believe they're playing this afternoon, are they not?
Yep, they are.
So we'll keep you posted on that. The rest of the matchup set, including who has home ice. Here's Claude Giroux moving up for the Flyers. He'll take the shot. Hudobin made the save. Claude Giroux with a goal in yesterday's game, tying his career high for one season. Flyers trying to make their way back in the shots category here. Cross-ice pass. Hartnell able to get to it behind Falk. Hartnell moving up. Holds, waits, fires, save. Hudobin. The rebound. Streit got a piece of it, but now it bounces all the way out to the Canes, who give it away to Voracek, and he'll send it off a leg, and it's gathered by Lyles. Justin Falk ahead, and then off the stick of Skinner to the Philadelphia line. The Flyers get the Blaze moving through center. Adam Hall. Hall chipping and chasing. This is dead even here early on. Timonen to Vanilla Cavalier. Tried to set her. It deflected. Coburn will get to it on the backhand. Just slide it in along. It's cut off by Commissary. His pass is on the money. They move up with the puck. Malhotra with the shot. Score! Now the veteran Manny Malhotra, who scored an overtime game winner against the Flyers earlier this year, beats Heater, and it's 3-1 Carolina.
Cal Heater just got to settle down a little bit. He was victimized on this one in the 5-hole again between his pads. He'll get up and he knows he's better than this 3-0 disadvantage.
He's trying to read it. Now he got Timonen handling the 2-on-1. So the goalie right here has the shooter. And then Timonen moves over to kind of help a little bit with that shooter. Malhotra's going to let it go. And because of the indecision, that's where Heater got himself in trouble, and he wasn't prepared for that shot.
He's shaking his head, obviously. His debut not going the way he had hoped. One thing that you had mentioned in your scouting report on Cal is that he can shake things off. So if anybody can recover, it would be this guy, because he allegedly is able to put bad goals behind him.
Yeah, 6'4", so he's as tall as Steve Mason. Spent 4 years at Ohio State. Also a player the Flyers signed as an undrafted player.
Flyers go after the puck in the Carolina zone. Here's Atkinson. And to sift that one through to Couturier. Bounces back to, now he gets it to Sean. Couturier muscling the puck to the slot. Turns. And back off a stick behind the net. Atkinson tries the other side. Cycles it down low to Reed. Reed to Couturier. Couturier overskates, and then Belmore decks him, and then Couturier trips Belmore. It's all good, they say. Puck set up the wall. Luke Schenn will keep it in. Fire it down low behind Couturier. And there's Atkinson. He is one of those guys the puck seems to follow around Jason Atkinson. Now Matt Reed gets the puck back to Atkinson behind the net. Taken to the ice by Hainsey. Reed back to Atkinson. And now spin it up the wall to Gustafsson. Takes the shot. That one sails high off the glass all the way out to Aksyanov, and he'll clear the zone. Gustafsson back to retrieve for Philadelphia. 25 remaining in this first period. Atkinson will tip the puck into the Carolina zone. Time again. Into the puck on the forecheck. The Canes maneuver it out to the neutral zone. Big Hal Gill. That'll feel good for Hal, just getting into some games, because he sat out so many this year and handled it absolutely like a pro.
Hal Gill is skating proof that there is no I in healthy scratch.
And now he's played in back-to-back games. Who knows in the playoffs?
And here in Philadelphia, Cal Heater making his first start. He is in goal on the right, and backing up is Ray Emery. And we talked about Cal Heater being strong mentally, according to goalie coach Jeff Reese, and able to put negative things behind him. Probably going to have to. I mean, the reason he is playing is that Steve Mason is banged up, and Craig Berube couldn't take a chance of letting Ray Emery play in the event that he got dinged up. Here's what happened to Steve Mason yesterday. Got banged into. Jason Megna of Pittsburgh pushed Andrew McDonald over Steve Mason, and Steve Mason is day-to-day with upper body.
And gives Ray Emery a lot of credit. I mean, he created a great situation for the Flyers yesterday with some outstanding saves in the third period, allowing the Flyers to be able to come back and win that in overtime.
Boy, he sure did, didn't he? Yep.
Canes moving the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Flyers have it. Brayden Schenn will clear it. Certainly is a nice luxury to have a playoff-tested goaltender on hand like Ray Emery. And I'm not talking about last year when he got his ring, where he was a backup. There's a shot that Heater handles from Patrick Roy. I'm talking about his days in Ottawa when he was the #1 guy and took that team deep into the playoffs. Well, tonight, get a breakdown of the Flyers' first round of the playoffs against the Rangers. Show hosted by John Bork and our panel of experts. Cup Central, presented by GMC. That's tonight at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. El Morgani will be there. Sarah Baker, Tim Panaccio. They'll analyze that first round matchup. Get it all figured out for you. Can't wait to hear the predictions. Oh, yeah. Al is always, doesn't give you what you expect. So, can't wait to hear Al's predictions for the first round.
Well, Al seems to think, we listened to him in the pregame show, that home ice winning streak that the Rangers have against the Flyers is very meaningful.
Yes.
And it will be until the Flyers win one of the first 2 games up there.
Yeah, interesting. If they win one of those 2, the pressure is all on the Rangers, just like that. Here's Jake Voracek getting deep. Voracek fired it wide. He had trouble with the rolling puck. Couldn't really go where he wanted to with that. Now here's Giroux. Giroux behind the net, takes a look in front. Now back out to the point. Gustafsson, wrist shot, and it went wide. Nobody could deflect it. His poke past Luke Schenn, not in center ice. And there by Elias Lindholm. And the Canes will bounce it deep into the Philadelphia zone. 8 straight without a win for the Flyers at MSG. Most of the games have not been very close. That all goes away with 1 playoff win.
Sure it does. And if you look at the New York Rangers' home record, it is extremely mediocre. It might be good in the last 8 games against the Flyers, but that streak goes back 3 years. How many Flyers are on this team that weren't in that first loss there? How many Rangers weren't even involved with that?
Icing the call here. Gives us a chance to divulge today's Dodge trivia question of the game, besides Kevin Dineen. Which other player captained the Carolina franchise both in Hartford and where they're currently located in Raleigh, North Carolina? Verbeek, Francis, or Primo? We'll give you the answer later on in the broadcast. I think the Flyers are probably a whole lot more concerned with that guy who stands between the goalposts for the Rangers. Yeah, got to figure out a way to beat him consistently, and it's easier said than done.
Yep, they have to get people in front of them, make sure that they buy enough time with good puck control to allow people to get there for rebounds and screens. And the Rangers are a mere 3 games over 500 at home this season.
That's with Lundqvist. There's a pass to Hall, moving toward the net. And then Lecavalier with a jab at the loose puck, but it was knocked out of there by the Canes.
I think a guy that really got to pay attention to, I know he hasn't had success so far in New York, is Marty St. Louis. This is prime time, and that's when he's at his best.
He's only scored 1 goal as a Ranger, but yeah, he's a good playoff performer, no question.
How strange is that going to be for Vinny Lecavalier and Martin St. Louis to be going against each other, neither of them wearing Tampa Bay uniforms. They had all those playoff games together there, and of course won a cup in 04 as teammates. Gill ahead. There's Atkinson. Brad Richards will be on hand as well.
Yep. Some former champions all winning a Stanley Cup in 2004.
They'll be having an alumni meeting up there.
Matt Reed after the puck here. Lyles goes and gets it and finds Falk. U.S. Olympian will move the puck along to Patrick Dwyer. And Dwyer will send it into the Philadelphia zone. And we'll team it in back to and around to Braden Coburn, and now Reed has the Flyers goal. His pass to Couturier. He is stripped of the puck. Lindholm took it away. Brett Melmore will move it ahead, but the Flyers get it back. And Gustafsson all the way behind his own net with it and then turns it over. Riley Nash takes it away. Here's Lindholm in front and unable to get a shot off. The first was Skinner. Peter slid across to try to take care of business there when the puck did finally make its way toward the net. Melmore's shot batted away by Heater. Rebound to Nash. Nash hands it off for Skinner. Former figure skater. Jab it into the corner. Lindholm. Lindholm pursued by Coburn, and good work there by Coburn and Simmons, and they clear the zone. Now Reed to the puck, jam it deep into the Carolina zone. Wayne Simmons in on Ron Hainsey. Another year without the playoffs for Ron Hainsey. The puck to Braden Shen, a shot is stopped by Udobin with Reed right there.
Well, how about getting a jump on the Stanley Cup playoffs by calling 215-389-9500 to reserve a suite for round 1 games 3 and 4 against the New York Rangers? Oh yeah, baby. That's what it's going to be like. You can experience the electric atmosphere with premium amenities, great food, beverage options, all in your own private setting for up to 24 guests.
Great way to take it all in. Can't wait for the atmosphere here in this building for the playoffs. Always special here in South Philadelphia. Orange wave.
And they're all out there warming up tonight or this afternoon.
Oh, they're warming up, are they?
They were outside there this afternoon and tailgating and getting ready.
Udobin smothers that puck after the shot by time again. I guess you got to warm up for that too, right?
You got to practice that tailgating. Right, Coach?
You just jump into that.
It is great. The block party, of course, here around the arena, and then the Orange Crush where they hand out the T-shirts and the whole place turns orange. And it is loud in here.
It is a fever.
It's off to the right of Udobin. And the Canes able to control. I'll move it ahead. Belusty. Back to Komisarek, who bounces one in on Heater. He's starting to look more comfortable now in net. And now Giroux will send one into the right of Udobin. Hartnell after the puck with Komisarek. Tie each other up. Voracek trying to get that puck free. Hartnell has it. Scott Hartnell hands off to Gustafsson around behind the net. Voracek. Jake Voracek. And Hartnell in front didn't see him, and then the pass is tipped out to center ice.
I got to tell you, Carolina Hurricanes look like a playoff team today. They're not headed there, but man, are they good defensively.
And they come off a win against playoff-bound Detroit. The game Detroit at that point still wanted to win. Had a chance to move out of that 8th position. Here's a turnover in front. Stahl shot. Big save, Heater. Eric Stahl denied by the leg of Cal Heater. That had to feel good.
Oh, he's back now.
Now Rose zone angle shot. Udova an easy save. And the Canes have it back. Jordan Staal taken out by Rosehill. Puts that in. First period comes to an end. The Canes get 3. The Flyers 1 here through the first 20 minutes of action. Cal Heater indoctrinated into the NHL, but got better later in the period. Skinner got things started for the Canes. Today's Flyers Hurricanes first period was brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. By Powerback Rehabilitation. Need rehabilitation after a hospital stay before returning home? Powerback Rehabilitation gives patients their power back by getting them home sooner. And by Supercuts. Check out supercuts.com to find a convenient salon location near you. Rock the cuts at Supercuts. Don Boric and Al Morganti will analyze the first period as our coverage of Flyers hockey continues on Comcast Sportsnet after this timeout. The second period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Audi dealers and legendary Audi Quattro all-wheel drive, the world's top-selling luxury all-wheel drive system. Also brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
On top of the stars, never thought we'd ever get this far. We live for moments like this. We come alive in moments like this. Here we are, this is a time, like a dream coming to life. We live for moments like this. We come alive in moments like this.
Well, get ready for many, many moments ahead in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Magical moments, Flyers fans are hoping, as they get set to take on the Rangers. We've shown you the other matchups. There they are. Tampa Bay hoping to wrap up home ice in their series with a win today. They would get home ice over Montreal. Right now, Montreal 1 point ahead, but Tampa Bay playing today while the Canadiens are done. And the Western matchups are set now, too, as we look at the statistics from today's game, brought to you by Sugar House Casino.
Well, Carolina took 13 shots and 3 of them got by Cal Heater. The good news from Cal Heater's standpoint is that late in that period he stopped a close-in breakaway shot from Eric Staal. So let's see what Heater's got here in the second period.
Skinner, Staal, Malhotra on the board for the Canes. Matt Reed scored for the Flyers in period number 1. GMC NHL update takes you to New Jersey, possibly the last game for Martin Brodeur as a Devil, and they take on the President's Trophy winning Bruins. That was Marek Zidlivsky scoring for the Devils, and then Louis Eriksson retaliating for the Bruins. 1-1 first period action in New Jersey. So there's Cal Heater getting ready for his second period of NHL activity.
Well, you got to know that this tightly knit Flyers team couldn't wait to kind of put an arm around Cal Heater's shoulders and say, listen, just dig in. We're with you. Settle down. We're okay. Going to get you something here in the second.
They did exactly that. Coming out of the tunnel, you all heard it go, come on, Heater. Let's go, Heater. They all know. And as a result, all the more, they're going to find some encouraging words for him at a point where he struggled earlier in that first period.
And what should help him also, he did have to make some pretty good stops there late in the first period. And that one kick save on Eric Staal comes to mind. So maybe getting himself into the flow of the game some. Here's Yuri Paluski. They say the Canes are onside. Eric Staal around Reed for the shot. He scores. Now it starts the same way as period number 1 for Cal Heater. One of the top offensive players from the Canes ends up in prime scoring position in Staal as his second of the game. It's 4-1 Hurricanes.
Well, just about everybody that gets a decent opportunity and a good look at a shot on Cal Heater has gone 5-hole between his pads. Eric Staal included for the second time. Manny Malhotra scored there as well.
Watch here, just a nice little move to get to the dot. Then all of a sudden, the quick wrist shot, Heater down into that butterfly. But as Billy said, he's just having a hard time getting those pads together to be able to take away that 5-hole opportunity.
What was interesting in that play is
that Coach, you all right there?
Incoming.
Yes. No, he is okay. Now he's going to make some friends.
Aw, that's nice.
I tell you what, years ago I would have made the save.
Here's a look. Whoops. You thought about it. There was just an instant there, Coatsy, where you looked like you're going to try to reach your hand up
a
there.
big glove save there.
I think you made the right decision.
I did.
Yes.
Because you can't do it without a glove.
No. Even if you had a glove. Get that out of the way. Here's Voracek to Giroux. They get tangled up in the middle. Giroux does sweep the puck into the corner, and Hartnell is there. Back to Voracek. Back out to Gill at the point. And off the stick of Voracek. Reuter play today. A couple points behind Ryan Getzlaf for second in the NHL scoring race. That shot by Voracek batted away by Khudobin. He'd love to finish number 2 to Sidney Crosby. I tell you what, think about where he was in November. He wasn't even on the leaderboard, even close to it. And he charged all the way back, led all NHL players in points from mid-December on.
Just keep playing.
Ron Hainsey up for Gerby. He is checked, and Gustafsson will backhand it in. There is Hainsey, who has never tasted Stanley Cup playoff action in a long career. He's played more games in the NHL than any other active player without participating in a playoff game. Been with several different franchises. With Montreal for a while, and then the Thrashers, Winnipeg Jets, but never been able to get to the postseason. Ron Hainsey, and he's a fine player. Had a pretty good year with Carolina. He's played every game for him, but not going to the playoffs. Here's Jay Harrison, a shot, and Heater will make the save and hang on.
Just keep digging in, keep fighting, Cal Heater. We've said this in the first period that it's highly unlikely, unless Cal Heater gets injured, that Ray Emery would make an appearance. And Eric Stahl is one hot sniper in this one. One of the problems with the Carolina Hurricanes, besides missing the playoffs, if you look at their makeup, their leading penalty minutes guy was that guy we were just looking at.
Yeah.
Their top offensive player, and that just shouldn't be. Can't be.
Yeah, I said earlier he has 1 power play goal all year and yet 74 penalty minutes, so there's a lot of weird numbers right around the guys usually their best player. Jeff Skinner's actually been their best player this year, but for Eric Stahl and the Canes, they got to get some things changed for next year, that is for sure. Here's Adam Hall moving up, swerving his way to the Canes line. The puck deep and goes after with Malhotra. Hit by a high stick by the Flyers. The Canes move it out to center, so no whistle. And Harrison will send it in on Heater. Heater holding on to the puck and delivering to Mark Strike. A long outlet from Gill, missed by Lecavalier, so it's icing against Philadelphia.
And a reminder for Flyers season ticket holders, it's clutch time to lock in for next season, and representatives are standing by to help you secure the biggest discount off box office prices. You score free $50 in store value. Gain access to exclusive events. Just call 215-218-4326 to secure your seats, or you can visit myflyerstickets.com.
Emery was stretching up the tunnel moments ago, and we caught him as he was making his way back to the stool, so it's possible that Craig Berube's thinking about something that he didn't really want to do and put Ray Emery into this game.
You know what? Ray Emery doesn't have to have anybody say anything to him either. Take a look at the score. You know,
that's true.
Take a look at what's going on. I mean,
connect,
connect the dots. He's done that a lot in his career.
Yes.
Well, sometimes you've got to worry about the psyche of the goaltender who's struggling right now. He's a young guy. Well, he's 25 years old, but goalies are always the last to be able to mature to their fullest as a goalies at the professional level. So you might be worried about destroying his ability to be able to keep going if it keeps going the way it is.
Saw John Michael Lyles in some pain as he blocked a shot. He is making his way to the Carolina bench, and Ray Emery looks on.
See the way Ray was actually changing his weight on each foot, shuffling back and forth. He looked like a guy that was hearing the Star Spangled Banner right there.
Yeah, stretching to get ready to play in a game.
Was Lauren Hart down there?
Luke Schenn, a shot that goes wide from the angle. Khudobin able to stop Hartnell and then get the whistle.
Well, a stoppage here is Scotty Hartnell having some words with Carolina Hurricanes, all 5 of them. Let's take a look at our Geico quote. Talking about playing in New York, facing the Rangers with the home ice advantage, and Jake Voracek says, I don't think I've won there in the 6 years I've been in the National Hockey League. So we're due. See, I like that. You take the half-empty situation, you make it half full, and say the due theory is in play.
The due theory. Well, they are due, there's no doubt. 8 straight in that building. None of those 8 were in the playoffs. The atmosphere completely different for a postseason game. Gustafsson banks this one. It comes out in front. Hartnell went after Belmore instead of the puck, and the puck ends up out in the neutral zone. Here's Gerby. Gerby tried to cut to the middle, dropped it back. The shot by Jordan Staal. He broke his stick. The Flyers have the puck moving the other way. Here's Hartnell. Hartnell, right wing feed. Voracek trying to catch up to it. Back in front for Hartnell. Could not get his stick on that offering. Back and forth we go now as the Canes will move back to center ice. Carried deep into the middle. There's no centered in front for Jay Harrison. Giroux broke that up. Riley Nash was looking for the puck, but it's Wayne Simmons instead. Wayne Simmons a goal shy of his career high. Moves up, centers. Time again will turn back with it. Get it to Coburn, who will wind and fire. Save, rebound. Where is it? It's still loose, and finally Hudobin able to cover.
Hudobin had no idea where that puck was. Oh yeah, he made the initial save, but then all of a sudden the puck is sitting right in front of him. He's going backwards, and then Coburn with the shot right here. And then Schenk comes in. Look, he's going to try to get a piece of it, but because of all the skates, he couldn't.
Well, he sure knew where Wayne Simmons' butt was. It was right in front of his mask, that whole sequence. Jay Harrison was holding Wayne Simmons tight to Hudobin.
Well, Wayne Simmons tends to hang out in that area, right around the net,
and when he's pushed in, he doesn't try real hard to get out of there.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't.
Nope.
Lyles is checked by Simmons, who steals the puck. We'll get to McGinn. McGinn takes a look and then turns it back down low for Braden Shen. Nudges it to Simmons. Simmons spinning. Takes a look. We're really to go with this. They're running out of real estate as the Canes close in. And they get the puck away from him. Over in a pinch, though, to get it back to Simmons. Simmons for McGinn. McGinn is checked before he could get to the slot. Good help and support from Braden Shen. The pass for Simmons was tipped, though, and the Canes will move it ahead. Batted by Hal Gill to the red line. Now Hal has it back. And they go across ice with it. This pass, Gustafsson is knocked down. Hal Gill will get it to Simmons. Simmons trying to spring Braden Shen, couldn't get it through cleanly. And now the Canes lob it out, and they have numbers. There's Laktianov with the puck. Laktianov holds, he waits. His pass back is intercepted by Simmons. Not sure if Wayne Simmons yelled for the puck there or what, but Laktianov gave it right to him. Down the ice it goes. 15-14 the shots in favor of the Canes. 4-1 where it matters. Sean Couturier has his pass tipped by Eric Staal. Staal backhands it through. Flyers get it back. Here's Luke Schenn. Handing off to Atkinson. In across the line. Atkinson takes the pass. Then centered it. Went off the stick to Reed, who was all tied up. Reed then taken off the puck by Jordan Staal. And the former Penguin will move it ahead. Finds Gerby. Gerby darting in. Holds on. Slides it. Just out of the reach of Jordan Staal. Gustafsson will move it along to Atkinson. And the rookie,
good poise.
Move it ahead. Oh yeah, he doesn't rush things, that's for sure. There's not been a penalty in this game. Jay Rosehill trying to rumble on in. He dumps the puck deep into the Carolina zone. Belmore trying to get back to get it. He does, but he turns it over to Hall, who fires. Batted away by Hudobin. Patrick Dwyer jumps on the Karen. Pass across, knocked down by Hall, but Dwyer is able on a second try to get it into the Philadelphia zone. Peter will play it to Coburn, and now teaming it. 7 minutes into this second period. Coburn shoveling one out through center and all the way down. They wave off icing. Belmore will have to play this. Rosehill closing in. Cavalier gets in there as well. The Canes have the puck. They'll move up. Ainsey, right wing feed. A good read there by the Flyers. Strike to knock it away. Now straight the stretch pass to the line. Here's Hartnell trying to get some speed. Got it back to Voracek. Wiped out. His pass across with Cavalier. Tried to center it. Went off of someone up high and then back behind the net. And then winds up in the corner.
Too many nice guys.
Yes. Very unselfish. Voracek setting a career high for goals in the season with his second goal in the game yesterday. Gill lobbing that one down low. There's Jake. Voracek off the wall. Back to Gill for his shot. Batted away by Khudobin. Now Giroux and on Nash. Steals. Turns it around to the other side of the ice. Right in from the point, but it's jabbed past him by Grayson Bowman. And he finds Elias Lindholm, fine rookie for this Canes team, and he'll bounce it deep into the Philadelphia zone. Nearly turned over by the Flyers, but they move it ahead. Now Gill will send it in, flag down. What I thought was the high stick of Komisarek with no whistle. Not a lot of whistles at all in this game, quite frankly. As Bowman will drop it back to Harrison, and now the Canes look to start up. Gone 5 minutes without a whistle in a while.
Seems like it.
Here's Malhotra. Into the Philadelphia zone, broken up. Flyers go right back with it. The pass is to Simmons. Bouncing puck though, and it's swatted away by Harrison. This is the ice surface that last night saw a champion crown, Union College. Taking home the NCAA championship, led by Shane Gossett-Bear, Flyers prospect, who was named the tournament's outstanding player, and he put on a show.
+7.
And finally, we will have a penalty. Braden Shen will visit the sin bin. Yeah, that was 2 years ago this very day.
2 years ago.
And Claude Giroux had hat tricks in the same playoff game.
Claude Giroux had 3 goals and 3 assists in an 8-5 Flyers win in Pittsburgh.
4-1 the score here. Carolina has the lead. Eric Staal has scored twice. As we have just about half a hockey game remaining in the regular season. Where did the season go? Seems like just the other day we were opening things up. And yet so much has happened with this Flyers team. Where they started and where they've gone. Power play after the Canes here. The first penalty of the game. Braden Shen for holding. Flyers able to win that puck battle.
Good play by Kimmo Timonen and Strong in the corner.
Braden Coburn. He might be able to get to that lob from Couturier, but the Canes kept him away from it.
Braden Coburn has to be looked upon as a very important player against the New York Rangers with his size and his skating ability. I mean, there aren't many guys that are big enough and fast enough to defend against Rick Nash.
Interesting here, Jason Atkinson getting some time on the penalty kill. Craig Berube was telling us for the game he'd like to find another penalty killer or two and not wear down some of his regular players as much. As Bakzianov will get it back out. That shot by Harrison changed direction and went wide.
Blocked by Atkinson.
That's why he changed direction. Very good. And now Bakzianov a shot, and that one takes off and finds the safety netting. Well, tonight, get a total breakdown of the Flyers' first round of playoffs against the Rangers. John Boric will host our panel of experts on Cup Central, presented by GMC. That's tonight at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Lots of analysis coming. The playoffs. Gotta love that. Have it all dissected. And then some player gets hurt in the first game and all the analysis means nothing anymore. You got to change it all. It is a fluid situation, and it's what's great about the playoffs. The first game's played, and then you get to see the changes that the teams make for game 2, whether it be personnel changes or system changes. Some team will win 16 games and lift Lord Stanley's Cup in June.
Well, the Flyers have to be so committed to taking Henrik Lundqvist's vision away. It has to be kind of number one, I think, in their approach to how to get pucks by him. If he sees it, he's pretty well going to stop it 99% of the time.
That is true. There's a pass to Skinner, who tried to play that in from the angle, but it did not go, and he'd recovered up. Power play over. And this remains a 4-1 game. More on the tail of the tape with the Flyers and Rangers when we return.
Well, it's time to take a look at our Independence Blue Cross fearless play. Standing tall in the face of a puck invasion is our own Coatsy, Steve Coates. Independence Blue Cross fearless. That's you.
Did you just use Steve Coates and standing tall in the same sentence?
Yes.
That was. We're proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Showing your agility at this point.
It's called saving yourself.
Self-preservation.
Yeah.
Guess what? Without any gear on, first of all, it's 1 by 3 inches of vulcanized rubber that is also frozen. It really hurts.
There's Hartnell taken down. The puck goes in. The net off its moorings. There's a penalty at the very least here. The light did not go on, and a goal was not indicated. But at the very least here, we've got a penalty call.
I was wondering about a penalty shot, but when I saw the upstretched arm in position for 30 seconds, I knew that it wasn't going to be a penalty shot.
Number 65, minor penalty for hooking.
Good attack by the Flyers here.
Really nice pass by Voracek to lead Hartnell into the puck. Really no way for him to be able to stop there, and plus he's got Hainsey all over him. Takes the feet from underneath him, runs into Hudobin. But definitely that's a good question. As I heard a voice out of nowhere say to me, why isn't that a goal?
Well, it appeared to cross the line. Maybe we never saw it completely. There is a conversation now, and it is under review.
There you go, because the rule is, regardless of a penalty or not, if the attacking player, as a result of being fouled by the defending player, pushes the net off its moorings and the puck goes in before it's frozen by the goalie, it counts. It's the Kerry Fraser rule.
Right. Is it the Kerry Fraser rule?
Kerry Fraser pushed it. Well, he pushed it in if a defending player or an attacking player pushes it off. Also, if there's a defending player. Either way.
That puck's in before the net's off.
No question. And if Scott Hartnell was tripped by Ron Hainsey,
which he clearly was,
that's got to count, doesn't it?
I would imagine the referee questioned it. That was Mark Jonette that's close, but see, watch the puck get hung up a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's in, and then the net comes off. So that has to probably be one of the big questions here, why it wasn't a goal. Let's see where the puck is. It's in, and then here comes the goalpost.
Scott Hartnell did push Hudobin back, but he did that as a result of the Ron Hainsey trip.
Interesting to see what is ruled here. Paul Dvorsky, Mark Jonette, the officials.
And I don't think it has anything to do with whether the net came off, because the puck to me was clearly in before the net came off.
Well, then
Here's Mark Jonette.
The decision on the ice stands. The goalie was pushed into the net by the attacking player. No goal.
Well, he's pushed in because of a trip. That is interesting.
Wow.
So, instead of a goal, Craig Berube's team gets a power play. As Hainsey goes. Flyers power play. Climbed into the top 10 in the league. Tied for 8th at 19.5%. Of course, it's sort of in a Jekyll and Hyde power play, though. Great on the road and not so great at home. Best power play in the NHL on the road, and 27th here at home at 14.6%.
It'll be real interesting to see what the Flyers do against the Rangers' number 4 ranked penalty killing unit in the NHL.
Even into Giroux for Hartnell, chopping at it. Went to Harrison. Now Giroux has it back. With it along off the stick of Simmons. Voracek back to Simmons, and now Giroux. They saucer it back to Timonen. And Timonen deals to Voracek, back across Giroux to Timonen for the shot. They score! Timo Timonen fires away from the point and rang off the post. They have a deflection in front. There certainly was traffic. Power play goal. It's a 4-2 game as they score for a case of Tasty Cake.
What a shot by Timo Timonen, and he had it dished back perfectly by Claude Giroux.
Boy, he got all out when I was looking right over his shoulder. Here comes the shot. See the torque in the stick? And it just flies, and Hudobin does have no idea. Does not know where this puck is. Well, it's rolling a little bit, but look how high that hit into the net. That was a dandy. And that just shows you the original shot by Hartnell was a goal. Because the gods said, hey, That had to be a goal, so we'll give it to you on the power play.
Yep, justice has been served.
33rd goal by a Flyer defenseman, and now Wayne Simmons beats Khudobin. And it's 4-3, just like that. 2 goals, separated by 10 seconds. And the Flyers are within 1, and Wayne Simmons has tied a career high with his 28th of the year. He scores for Case of Tasty Cakes.
What a play. Right out the opening faceoff. Some pressure by the Flyers, but they needed help from Carolina. And there was a turnover.
Boy, did he ever get all of that one. As Hainsey gets a little bit too cute. There, right there you see Simmons use the other defender for the Carolina Hurricanes for a little bit of a screen. Khudobin gets caught a little bit more in the middle of the net than he would like to, and Simmons just drilled it by him.
Ty McGinn should end up with an assist. It certainly went off his stick. That intended pass. Ty McGinn broke the play up.
So a couple of goals separated by just 10 ticks on the clock, and this is a 1-goal game, and the crowd's into it as Streit moves up. Mark Streit deals to Reed. Around behind the Carolina net, here's Atkinson. Sends it in front. That was a nifty little play, and everybody thinking he was going back behind the net. And he almost found a man in front. Timonen at 12 minutes, Simmons at 12:10. It's 4-3. Streit handling the puck here. Deal hoping for Couturier out of his reach. Khudobin out of his net to play to the boards. Atkinson is there, but hit the referee with his dump in, and Kane's able to clear. Cavalier with the pass. And Jay Rosehill flips it deep, goes and gets it himself. Jay Rosehill for Luke Schenn. That was blocked off the skate of Jordan Staal. Now he'll outlet. Patrick Dwyer backhanding to Kirby. Kirby jabs it back toward Dwyer. He gets caught up in all the traffic and bounces to Kirby for a quick shot. It's batted away by Peter and then fired wide by Harrison. To the other side of the ice, Hainsey put it off of Rosehill. Kirby reaching for it. Hall knocks it away from him, and LeCavalier will get to Hall. Hall will bang it into the Carolina zone. Get around by Harrison, read by Hall. Centers it in front, LeCavalier swung it back out in front. It was behind Rosehill.
Boy, when you hear Jay Rosehill closing in on you as Jay Harrison did, you tend to just get rid of the puck.
Footsteps.
Well, skate blades anyway.
There's second try pass from Hartnell that makes its way to Coburn, and now LeCavalier. Cavalier back for Coburn. And back to Vinny, and that shot denied by Khudobin. Back out to Timonen. Pulls it around deep. Hartnell hustling his way out in front. LeCavalier will get to this puck. Takes it to Voracek. Voracek had it back out in front, but goes off to stick it out through center ice. Giroux just off the bench to go back and get the puck. Well, Giroux got an assist on that goal by Timonen. Giroux's a point closer to Ryan Getzlaf for second place in the scoring race. There's Grayson Bowman for the puck for Carolina ahead off Malhotra. Out of that, but taken back by the Canes for a shot blocked by Hellgill. Another shot, save, Heater. We got that one. A point shot by Lyles is deflected and goes out of play. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Picking up in South Philly. Timo Timonen on the left, Mark Streit on the right, two offensive-minded defensemen for the Flyers. Here was Mark Streit yesterday with a little help from Marc-Andre Fleury. Picking up his 10th goal of the year, and Timo Timonen moments ago with his 6th. Part of a defense corps that under Craig Berube, guys really started to go to the attack, and it's paid off. 33 goals from defensemen for the Flyers this year.
And looking ahead to the series against the Rangers and their number 4 defense, you're going to need help from all corners and all sectors. Everybody has to be reported and accounted for, including the defensemen. They'll be important. They got to put up numbers against the Rangers.
I asked Mark Streit, was he a little surprised to see that puck go in? Because obviously, and no offense to the shot, but Fleury really mishandled that. It hit the end of his stick and went right between the 5-hole. And he said, with all the pipes I've been hitting, he deserved that goal.
They got him to double figures for the year. And as I said, with his assist in the game here today, he's on a 6-game point streak. Shot on goal, Heater the save, and the puck to the line, not out. Flyers have overtaken the Canes as Ducharme shots on goal. Lyles kept that in momentarily, but now Couturier has it. John Couturier in on goal. He's gone. 3 goals in the last 4 games for Couturier. He's tied a career high in goals for a year, and this game is tied at 4. Couturier scores for a case of tasty cake.
Well, I said looking forward, the Flyers are going to need offensive production from just about every line in every area, and that includes Sean Couturier. And if he can make moves like this and gets a chance against the Rangers, there'll be no stopping him.
Look at him make that cut. Wow. And Hudobin's trying to get that pad over it because of the severity of going from left to right. Couturier took him right across, but he wasn't quick enough with the pass.
So nasty. What a move.
On the 2-year anniversary of his playoff hat trick, he has a goal here in the game. Simmons centering, loose puck in front. Now it's Jordan Staal going the other way. The Flyers with 3 consecutive goals, separated by 3 minutes and 32 seconds here in the second period. Come all the way back to tie this game. Brayden Schenn knocked down by Harrison across ice. Now played to the Carolina line. It bounces off of Commissary. Flyers are offside. Simmons never did touch the puck, but they blow it dead anyhow.
Well, let's take a look at our power back. Rehabilitation, comeback goal of the game, and it's a dandy. John Michael Lyles, well, he didn't do a very good job of keeping that puck in. Sean Couturier goes the other way. Puts a couple of dandy moves. Look at this. Goes to the right, comes back to the left, on the forehand, and beats Hudobin to tie this hockey game in 4.
You know, and seeing that replay, Coatsy, Sean Couturier had about 5 feet of 5-hole to shoot at if he wanted to. Instead, he took it by Hudobin. He created so many options for himself to put the puck in the net because of how nasty the move was. Wow.
Looks like a guy piled up all those points in the queue. Couturier was the MVP of that league. Almost a 2-point-a-game pace that year. Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Here's Voracek stripping the puck. Now they move it ahead. And here's Skinner with a shot. Oh, Heater got just enough of it, and then Skinner gets decked, and there will be a penalty. And Skinner is a little slow getting to his skates. He's had some concussion issues in his career as he got hit hard after he took that shot.
But Cal Heater with the save on the best sniper that Carolina has. Yep. You got to figure that was a pretty good call because Skinner's feet got taken out from under him by Mark Streit.
Yeah, the contact was with the boards where you worry about Skinner there.
And you can get a jump on the Stanley Cup playoffs by calling 215-389-9500 to reserve a suite for round 1 games 3 and 4. It's electric. The atmosphere is fantastic. Premium amenities. All in your own private setting. Up to 24 guests. That's how big the suites are. Lock in now to see the Flyers take on the New York Rangers, the dreaded Rangers.
Canes with their second power play. Streit sits for 2. Jordan Staal out to Lyles. Now back to Staal. Pass side of the net. The angle shot save. Heater the rebound jabbed away. There's Eric Staal. Denied. Now Coburn to it. Up the wall. Couturier tips. Couldn't get out first try. Second try. He'll go across ice. And Hall has his stick broken on the slash. Puck taken by Talusti. Centered. It deflects in the air. And Heater grabs it out of the air. Now Heater alert. Able to snatch that puck out of the air in the slot area. Now some words. As Hall was not happy about having his stick broken.
No, but Cal Heater was really motivated to make sure he could get a whistle here. Well, I don't know. That might have been an inferior twig. But watch Cal Heater here. I can get a whistle. I know Adam Hall's got a broken stick. I'm 6'4". I called a fair catch. It's all me.
That could be a turning point for him to be able to make a play like that. A little bit more spry when he was bouncing around there.
There are the numbers for the respective units. The Hurricanes down near the bottom of the NHL. The Canes have not ranked higher than 18th in the league in power play over the last 6 seasons. It has been a sticking point time and time again, and certainly has been a problem for them this year. third from the bottom. Another stick goes flying as Matt Reeds. He's going to retrieve it. As the battle ensues along the wall. Skinner right in the middle of that. Luke Schenn eyeing a man up. Gustafson jabs it to Reed. Reed skates it to center ice. Matt Reed guided into the Carolina zone. Good work on the kill by the Flyers there. 1 minute remaining.
Matt Reed sure wanted a piece of Jeff Skinner. Skinner was dogging him and whacking him with the stick all the way up the ice. Reed took a swing at him and missed.
Kianov got into the Philadelphia zone. Gill got a piece of his pass. Now Couturier rams it out of the zone and down the ice. Curious, they have to go after this. Riley Nash beats him to it. And now Harrison in the middle. Jordan Staal surging on in. Swings wide. His shot blocked off by Coburn. And he goes into the safety netting.
Well, times have changed here in the second period after the Carolina Hurricanes have taken the big lead. Let's take a look at our Wells Fargo great check of the game. Jay Rosehill into the offensive zone. Jay Harrison, the defender, braces himself because he knows Rosehill's going to come. Rosie brings that element to the game. He plays it hard at both ends of the ice, and he's our Wells Fargo great check of the game.
Handy guy,
yeah.
Handy guy to have around.
Yep, just as we were talking about with Hal Gill, Jay Rosehill has been on the sidelines a lot. There's a backhander by Gervey. Save, Peter. And he's able to gather the rebound. The power play is over, so with the 2 kills here today, the Flyers are killing at a 92% rate over the last 18 games.
Just a remarkable, I guess, second 2/3 of season or last half of season for the penalty killing unit. Ranked 6th overall out of 30 teams coming into today's action.
Bill, they've allowed 1 power play goal against on the road since the Olympic break.
Serious.
Here's Gervey. Very shifty player. Eric Gustafson had enough of the shiftiness. Just knocked the puck away from him. Now here's Hainsey. They hit one down low. Gustafson breaks that up as well. Gervey retrieves in the corner. Gustafson gets a piece of him there. Giroux is in there as well, and Gustafson ends up with the puck. Finds Luke Schenn. Voracek, he was tightly marked, but he'll get to it and snap one in on goal. It is batted away by Hudobin. Final 24 seconds of the second period. Voracek will hold on to that puck for a while, but finally it's taken back by Occhiano. Former Devil. Over in the trade to sent Tuomo Ruutu to North Jersey. Wright gets it back from him, plays it to the other side of the ice. McGinn takes a look around. Pass in the middle, bounces off of a couple of skates. Occhiano after it, and the second period comes to an end. The Flyers get 3 goals, separated by just 3 minutes and 32 seconds to storm back. Wayne Simmons, Sean Couturier, Kimmo Timonen light the lamp. It's a 4-4 game with now 40 minutes in the books. Today's Flyers Hurricanes second period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Today's, or I should say Tuesday's, Mega Millions jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $28 million. So play today. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Players must be 18 years or older. Downstairs we go. Coatsy set to chat with gentleman Hal Gill.
Well, obviously everybody would love to know how you feel. This is your second game in as many nights, and when you take a look at how long you waited since December because of this lineup being so healthy, how do you feel?
Good. I've been working hard all year to be in this position and to help the team. So Lappy's been skating me pretty hard, and the other guys, we've challenged ourselves when they're not playing. So it feels good right now.
This hockey club has done such a transformation from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. You're a veteran. You've won a cup. Tell us about what your thoughts are on this club heading into the playoffs.
Well, it's about being focused on what you're supposed to be doing and doing the job and having fun doing it. And we were down and out, similar to this game, I guess, and we're right back in it. And we've been fighting all season, trying to stay level and trying to stay focused.
Al, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Flyers nominee for the Masterton Trophy, Hal Gill. Part of an effort that has brought the Flyers back in this one. John Bourque and Al Morgani will analyze as our coverage of Flyers hockey continues on Comcast Sportsnet after this. Regular season game, very exciting contest thus far. The Flyers have come all the way back. Here are the game-changing stats brought to you by Sugar House Casino.
Yeah, well, the greatest stat is the Flyers roaring back and giving Cal Heater some support, and that's why we have a tie game. Now Cal Heater can settle in and play the third period of his first NHL start, at least knowing that it's an an even slate to begin with.
Summary started red, but it is transformed into orange and black. The last 3 goals belonging to the Flyers. Timonen, Simmons, Couturier, separated by 3 minutes and 32 seconds, tying this game at 4. And so the last full period of regular season hockey, I should say, is underway, and the Flyers have iced the puck just 7 seconds in. Don Hudobin in the pipes for the Canes has been victimized of late. Cal Heater at the other end gave up some early goals and now has still a chance to pick up his first NHL win.
Flyers goalie coach Jeff Reese wanted Cal Heater to be active in this game, playing pucks and talking a lot on the ice. Before Cal Heater knew it, he had 3 pucks by him in the first period, so he hardly had a chance to figure out what kind of game he was going to bring to the ice surface. He just was battling to stay alive in this one, and he did a pretty darn good job of it. The turning point was that save on Eric Stahl, I think, from the hash marks. There was a short distance breakaway.
Yeah, that was a quick counterattack.
Turnover there by the Flyers. Lakianov misses the target. Flyers have given up point-blank chances early in each period. That one goes wide. So now Couturier to Reed. Tried to jam that back around to Couturier, but he didn't get through. Canes move out. Eric Stahl to the Philadelphia line. Dropped it off to Lakianov, who just served it down low, and now it's straight. It's right out of the reach of Reed. No icing here. Is back to get it is the big defenseman Brett Belmore. Belmore will start back for the Canes. The season ends in 19 minutes and 4 seconds. That puck goes out of play, or maybe shortly after that. GMC NHL update. In St. Louis, this was an important game for the Blues. They needed to win to keep alive their hopes for the Central Division Championship. Detroit had other ideas. Justin Abdelkader at the Red Wings started with that deflection. Then Riley Sheahan was able to score. Jimmy Howard took care of things at the other end of the ice. Actually, that was Mrazek in goal for the Red Wings, who took care of things at the other end of the ice. And St. Louis loses here. Simmons a shot, and that's tipped away. Tried to get it back out in front and lost by the Blues in regulation. Means the Colorado Avalanche are the Central Division champions.
15 days ago, St. Louis had a 9-point lead on Colorado in that division. The St. Louis Blues have lost their last 6 games of the regular season, all in regulation.
And their punishment for that, they get the Chicago Blackhawks, the defending champs, in the first round.
And they're banged up too.
Yeah, no Backus, no Oshie. I mean, it's tough.
And the Avalanche will get the Minnesota Wild in the first round. All the matchups now set in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The only aspect that is not determined, home ice advantage in the Montreal-Tampa Bay series. That will be determined in about the next 45 minutes. There's the West. Colorado gets Minnesota. That could be a tricky series for the Avalanche. St. Louis, Chicago, an old Norris Division rivalry. That'll be a war for sure. Anaheim and Dallas will go toe-to-toe. The Stars take on the Ducks. Ducks were dominant early in the season. They had a bit of a slide, but boy, Bruce Boudreau had that team playing great hockey again at the end of the year. So Anaheim certainly a potential team to emerge from the West, and then San Jose and LA. That should be a heck of a series. Boy, first round of the playoffs. I dare you to find a series that doesn't have all kinds of intriguing possibilities.
Well, how about the Boston Bruins? Everybody says who could beat Boston? Detroit's 3-1 this regular season.
Malhotra shot. Cal Heater says no.
There are a lot of people complaining about the new format where number 2 in a division plays number 3 in a division. They say so many good teams are going to be knocked out. There aren't any bad teams. There are going to be good teams knocked out no matter what the matchups are.
I don't understand what that comment meant. I mean, why would anybody think that? Everybody can beat anybody in this given day.
Well, only that it used to be 2 and 7.
Right.
You know, now it's 2 and 3 in the division.
And what I like about that is that's in all likelihood going to be a great rivalry. You got Rangers Flyers in that 2-3 matchup. You've got Blues Blackhawks in that 2-3 matchup
That you might otherwise not see, right?
Right. I mean, those rivalries are only going to intensify as they play in the playoffs. This new system brings the Flyers and Rangers together for the first time since 1997 in the postseason, and I think fans in both cities can't wait. Harrison gets the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Here is Gill. Ahead. Quick thinking there by Couturier. Got the puck to Roseville, and they bank it out to center ice. At Belmore ahead through Yuri Talusti deep into the Philadelphia zone. Streit is there. Softly a headlock. Yarov knocks that down. Got it to Eric Stahl. And now Belmore. Shot blocked by Hal Gill. Hal Gill has not lost his touch for blocking shots. And now it's Rosehill.
Can't teach size.
Just stand there getting away. Size and courage.
Yes, sir.
It's a loose puck, and Khudobin has to melt that down with a couple Flyers in the vicinity.
Well, don't forget ticket packages for next season available now. Secure your seats in advance. You'll also get great benefits, including tickets to this year's playoffs and discounts only available to Flyers season ticket holders. Call now. It is clutch time in Philly.
You mentioned the only aspect of the playoff picture not determined is the home ice in the 2-3 matchup in the Atlantic Division, Tampa Bay and Montreal. Tampa Bay has to beat Washington this afternoon to get home ice. As Gustafson's shot is stopped by Khudobin off possible deflection there. That game is scoreless in the third period. And it's a win of any kind, even a shootout win for Tampa Bay. They'll move into second place. A loss of any kind, including an overtime or shootout loss by Tampa Bay, that means Montreal will have home ice in that matchup. And the shot deflected just wide by the Canes. Get it back out to Lyles, who gets it down low. Gerby holding, waiting, centering shot! It does not go! Gustafson takes it out of harm's way as Eder went flashing across. Now 3-on-2 the other way. Simmons for Schenn. Schenn couldn't get that puck to settle. Simmons will follow it up. Tried to go back with it, and that's stolen by Gerby. And Gerby hoists one deep into the Philadelphia zone.
Cal Heder got a little aggressive on that last play, but he had three friends there with sticks that were pulling for him that helped him keep the puck out of the net.
It always helps. Shots advantage going back the Canes way here.
Wow. Boy, did Braden Colburn ever get away with one there.
Couple whacks at it there by Lindholm, denied by Heder at the side of the net, and Giroux will put this all the way down. He's hoping for Hartnell, and he will get him. Hartnell will let it go to Timonen. Timonen in front for a check. Back to Giroux, got off a backhander. Khudobin to save it, and then Giroux got tomahawked down to the ice. Oh, Giroux went down heavily after taking a stick, I believe, in the face.
Well, a lot of people holding their breath right now. Good to see Claude Giroux up. Here's the play I was talking about. Cal Heder got a little out of his crease. I said there were friends there with sticks trying to help him.
How about the post?
That was the best friend on this one. Sticks didn't touch it.
Dwyer actually fanned on that, and the other end, here comes Voracek, gets it back out, and great move by Giroux to go to the backhand. Oh, did he pay for that? That was Harrison coming in and caught Giroux, but Giroux's okay, and that's all you care about right now, is everybody's okay come Thursday.
We should point out Andrew McDonald not in this game. He logged a ton of ice time yesterday in the win in Pittsburgh, and Craig Berube just decided to give him the day off. Been blocking a lot of shots. He'll end up leading the NHL in block shots. Will Andrew McDonald, a ridiculous total of 242. 242 blocks for Andrew McDonald. So a well-deserved day off for McDonald, who has really impressed the Flyers coaching staff since his acquisition from the Islanders. He's moving in here. The shot and the save made by Eder off of Grayson Bowman. Bowman back to the puck. Marked by Streit. And Hall steps in. He'll move it ahead to LeCavalier. His pass to Gill. And now Hall. And for Rosehill. Hall has it back and he'll swing it down low in the Carolina zone. That's Belmore ahead. Dvorak stopped at the Philadelphia line. Rosehill then lost it right back to Dvorak, and the Canes have the puck again. Cleared all the way down. This will be icing. Schenn has the edge going toward the loose puck. Earlier we were talking about the relative health of the Flyers this year, and you don't get this without health. 7 Flyers will play in all 82 games. There they are. First time ever. That's ever in almost a half a century of Flyers hockey, in which they've had that many players suit up for every game.
Craig Berube will give his guys a day off tomorrow, so be good rest. This is sort of a semi-afternoon game today. The guys will get a go.
Big stop by Khudobin on Couturier. Keeps this game tied. Gustafson will float that one, gloved by Khudobin. And he will squeeze it. We'll be back.
Well, what a day yesterday for number 14, Shane Gostisbehere, the Flyers prospect, and his Union College Dutchman teammates. Gostisbehere picked up a goal and 2 assists, was on the ice for all 7 Union goals as Union upset Minnesota Golden Gophers for the NCAA Frozen Four Championship. Unbelievable player and a great NHL career ahead of Gostisbehere. Congratulations to Union College. 2,300 students, no scholarships, Schenectady, New York. And Gostisbehere, outstanding player in the tournament.
Boy, this guy does it at both ends of the ice. Obviously, he was unbelievable offensively. They had some key defensive moves that really helped the Union team win this thing. But this guy, on top of being an outstanding skater, it's what you do when you arrive. He's got a can, another shot.
MVP player, huh?
Yeah, he's one of those guys who, you know how the it factor they talk about, no matter the sport, he's got it.
So, he's only 170 pounds, but don't be fooled by that. He compensates with unbelievable IQ and quickness. All the tools.
Offside they call here. Talking with Chris Pryor. We'll get back to that. Coach.
Well, there's been a couple of good saves at both ends of the ice. Let's take a look at our Hyundai save of the game. As right here, Eric Stahl's going to get a puck right onto his stick. Oh, yeah. A little bit of a mistake there for the Flyers, but Cal Heater got off to a tough start. Well, he had to come up with a big save there on Stahl, and it's that big save that's helped the Flyers come back in this hockey game and tie it at 4.
Back to the Gostisbehere situation. Talking with Chris Pryor, the Flyers, of course, recently signed Robert Haig out of Sweden. And they have Sam Morin, their first-round pick from last year's draft. The draft, by the way, this year is here in Philadelphia. But they suddenly have a bit of a stable of young defense prospects, which bodes well for the future. And speaking of youngsters, local product, Johnny Gaudreau did not win the Frozen Four. His team knocked off by Gostisbehere's Union Club in the semifinals. But he got himself the Hobey Baker Award and a pro contract as he signed with the Calgary Flames and makes his debut in the NHL this year.
And a trip in a private jet to Vancouver to play the Vancouver Canucks tonight. I guess they want him when they send a jet for him.
That's right. And a kid that was cut from more than one team in this area.
He was cut as a youth hockey player twice, so a lesson for all of you players out there. You get cut, that doesn't mean the hockey road comes to an end.
That's right.
Push forward.
Everything happens for a reason.
Here's Braden Shed after the puck in the Carolina zone. Different coaches see different things in players. As the Canes move up here. Harrison will send that one into the Philadelphia zone. 12-12 remaining third period. The Flyers try to close out regular season, which has been one of recovery, if you will. There's Simmons with a shot bomb. Save Udobin, flashing some leather right there to keep this game tied.
Boy, he was back where he was when he took that shot in the second period, but this one he's going to try to use everybody as a screen when he got the drop pass. Watch, right here. He's got Harrison right in front of him, and Udobin. That's a great save.
Yeah, Wayne Simmons trying to go high to the glove. Yeah, Udobin had a 4-1 lead. He's got the third best save percentage in the NHL. At least he's tied for it. He's tied for 7th in goals against average, and the Flyers have been able to come back and tie this game.
And shots are relatively even, as are the chances. Mark for the puck just inside the Carolina line. Luke Schenn will go back and get it for Philadelphia. Giroux, he was in tight quarters, and now the Canes have played back into the Philadelphia zone. Gustafson around for Schenn. Knocked over his stick, so he takes out his frustration on a Hurricane. The Canes keep the puck in. That shot deflected, went just wide.
Oh, Giroux blocked the shot off of John Michael Niles.
And he is in pain on one leg, actually going to the Philadelphia bench. Oh, Giroux is in all kinds of pain as he tries to take a seat on the bench. He'll get some immediate attention from Jim McCrossin and Hartness. If our attention is there, not in the game for this specific second.
If there was ever a shot you wanted Claude Giroux to miss in an attempted block, it would probably be that one right now.
Walk will flutter that puck deep into the Philadelphia zone. There's Coburn. Now it's set ahead. He went up the alleyway, did Giroux toward the Flyer locker room, so we'll try to keep you posted on that. Khudobin gets to Bellemore. He's checked by Hall. Cavalier is unable to keep it in. Patrick Dwyer moves ahead. Dwyer off on the left wing to Gervie. Back for Dwyer. And he's tied up by Hal Gill. Back to Ron Hainsey for a shot. That's blocked in front. Hal Gill. Gill goes and gets the puck. It's tipped for him, but there is Sprite. Hal Gill led the Flyers in ice time for the first 2 periods. And a block shot there by LeCavalier off of Gervie. Flyers still standing in the way of those shots here in this game. Hopefully it hasn't cost them. Whoa. Pass and strike to LeCavalier in front. Gervie and Hal Gill. How about that for a battle? That is 5'5" against 6'7".
That was one of the funniest things I've seen all season. I give Nathan Gervie a lot of credit. Hal Gill's a mountain.
Here's Couturier to Reed. Reed holding on. All the way back out to Luke Schenn for a shot. And that hit Atkinson, who'd been knocked down in front. Couturier comes up with it. All the way across ice. Hoping for Gustafsson, that he whiffed on the bouncing puck. Gustafsson back to Reed as they're both in deep now. Past the midpoint of this 3rd period. Flyers win the battle. Get the puck to Couturier, but his shot drifted wide off of Skinner. Now Reed. Leaned on by Komisarek. Eric Stahl trying to get the puck out of there. Big battle here for the loose disc, and who comes up with it? Crowd cheering the Flyers on, and they come away with it. Reed. Reed, though, could not do much with that as Hurricanes able to converge, and now they have the puck. Pass ahead. Here's Dvorak. Dvorak, angle drive, goes high and wide all the way out to the point. Kept in, but not for long. Simmons takes it back. Simmons to Gustafsson, and now McGinn off his stick deep into the Carolina zone. Braden Schenn in on Lyles. Simmons to the puck to Schenn. Schenn back to Simmons. Dane Simmons stripped to the puck. Good work there by Justin Falk. Fine young defenseman, but then a turnover. Here's Simmons deflecting, save made. Khudobin rebound. Simmons has got it. Simmons centering, just out of the reach of Schenn. Back out to Keeman. He'll run it in along the boards. And the Canes will get it back. As Falk tries to move up, he's stripped to the puck again. Here's Braden Schenn. Schenn holds, waits, and then couldn't get the puck through. Is laying out to get in the way. And the Canes, Lyles get it back again, teaming right back into the Carolina zone. Lyles trying to get to the bench. He needs to. He is dead tired, but couldn't get the puck out of the zone. Now he's making his way over toward the bench. Flyers do intercept in center, and Lyles finally will get to safe haven. Again ahead for Simmons. Cross ice for Strike. Strike gathers the bouncing puck. Lost it just as he got to the Carolina line. Canes then misfire, send it all the way down, but no icing as Dwyer gets a step on Gill. Gill uses that long reach to jab at the puck. The helmet goes flying. That's still Gervie's helmet from earlier. Now Hartnell and Strike trying to get that puck, but the Canes come up with it. Centered in front, shot! That hit a body in front as it deflected off the stick.
That was Dwyer again, who had the opportunity earlier. This time he fanned. Puck just popped right up in the air off his stick.
Canes back to get it. Flagging that outlet down. He's closed. Giroux back out on the ice to Hartnell. It winds. And I don't know what that was. That a pass or a shot? Not from the point. That shot gloved by Khudobin. And now Hartnell is after a Hurricane, and he's got him. We've got a mad scramble. Almost a line brawl here. The only active one right there that you had to look at up close was Hartnell on the bottom.
That's Bellemore.
Brett Bellemore, and peace seems to be being restored at this point. We'll be back.
Thanks very much, Ronnie. And let's take a look at our Toyota turning point. The Carolina Hurricanes took a 4-1 lead. Then all of a sudden, the Flyers came back with 2. And then this play. Sean Couturier strips John Michael Lyles with the puck. Goes down, puts a heck of a move on Khudobin. Ties the game at 4. And that is our Toyota turning point of this afternoon's game.
Ron Hainsey and Brett Bellemore sitting in the Carolina penalty bench. There's nobody in the Flyers box right now. We await the call. And Hartnell's been sent up to shoot, and they've just put 5 minutes up on the board by number 19. So it looks as though Major is Scott Hartnell.
That's not a good thing. Never is.
This is a very tenuous time. What this 5-minute major is going to be for. Referee still conferring. Mark Jannette, as Paul DeBoerse is going to come over and talk to the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes. You at home, take a look again of what exactly happened here.
Well, I will tell you, Scott Hartnell turned around and jabbed what looked like it was going to be really hard with the stick. But you see how he dropped the stick so he didn't have any pressure on it? When he actually pushed it forward, it was kind of a half-hearted spear.
Before the regular season gets away from us here, we want to congratulate Linda Lewis. She is the grand prize winner in our McDonald's Power Play Payoff.
Linda.
Nice big prize heading your way.
We're all coming to visit you in Quakertown, Linda.
That's usually our tradition.
That is a tradition. We always go.
Linda probably did not submit her address, though, to us.
A couple of big
Keep
matches.
it away from the broadcasters.
Probably a smart idea.
There are the penalties. Still trying to get the announcement on Hartnell's injury. It was a major for spearing and a game misconduct.
Well, a reminder, you can secure your seats for the first round games 3 and 4 of the playoffs. You can speak with a representative right now about playoff ticket options by calling 215-218-PUCK or just go online, PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. New York Rangers, Philadelphia Flyers, round 1.
Well, we got the call. It's a spear like we had talked about to Scott Hartnell and a rough and a slash on the two Carolina players.
So it's a 4-on-3 for the Flyers right now. It'll become a 5-on-4 for the Hurricanes when the two minors have run their course. Here's the shot. LeCavalier! Stop! Simmons denied by Hudobin in tight. Oh, Hudobin's had a couple of beauties here to keep this game tied. Glove save earlier as well. Here's Simmons. 4-on-3. Giroux. Back out, strike shot. Block went to the corner board. Do it all. Great to see Claude Giroux back out on the ice after his shot block earlier. Strike the shot. Wide. Simmons had screened the goalie, but Strike missed the target. Giroux in front. Tipped wide by Simmons. And they go to work again on the other side. Strike. Giroux back to Strike. Now it's Giroux right along the goal line. Simmons in the slot. That pass meant for LeCavalier is tipped and goes on to center ice. Dump it across ice and right back in. Giroux back to Strike. Strike goes into open ice. LeCavalier, a blind pass is a turnover, and then Eric Staal blew a tire as he was about to set sail the other way. He'll clear it all the way down. In 36 seconds, the Canes go to the power play. It'll be 3 minutes in length. Here is Schenn. They get it to Strike. Atkinson right down here with the puck. Atkinson holding, firing block. Goes back to him, he gets to Strike. Right back to Atkinson. Now across, Voracek missed it. They get it now, but he's got a man to deal with. He pokes it. And it's now over to Brayden Schenn. Back out to Voracek. He'll wind, he'll fire! Save! Hudobin, he wasn't sure where it was, but he's got it for the whistle.
Boy, really good puck movement on both power plays. Some top shelf performers involved in not only the power play for the Flyers, but the kill for the Carolina Hurricanes. Jeff Skinner started it all off, and then Eric Staal and Manny Malhotra got involved for Carolina. Matt Reed, Sean Couturier playing on that terrific checking line for the Flyers have both scored. Wayne Simmons as well.
So the way this breaks down, in 6 seconds, the Canes will be the team going to the attack. Flyers have had their chance to break the tie with this 4-on-3. They couldn't get it done. And so now both Bellemore and Hainsey leave the penalty box, and it's a 3-minute power play for the Canes, and they have a chance to get a late goal to break the tie. The team is realizing that, drifting back, trying to hold on as long as he can. He gets the puck to Coburn, and Coburn will bounce one in toward Hudobin, who will scoop it up, and the Flyers will gladly take an offensive zone draw here.
Well, I don't think either one of these teams has any incentive to take the game into overtime. So even down a man for 2 minutes and 45 seconds more, I'd be surprised if the Flyers didn't take the opportunity if it presented itself to go for it and try and win this in regulation. And Carolina, their season is over.
Win the draw. Now they'll look to get down to the other end of the ice and set up the power play. Here's Elias Lindholm. Takes a strange hop out in front. Peter stops one, but not the second one. They score. Jeff Skinner. It's a gimme off the bad bounce. And it's 5-4 Carolina on the power play goal, and they'll stay on the power play.
Boy, what a tough break for Cal Heater, especially after the save that he made to salvage the first attempt after the bad bounce. With this dump in, that's the Steve Mason corner too, isn't it?
Yeah, it just caught that. Something obviously off of the boards of the corner. Let's see if it comes right out off of the dasher. And the save was spectacular, but everybody was paying attention, and nobody picked up the trailer.
It was Steve Mason in goal when Vancouver's Ryan Kessler scored on him out of that corner, was it not?
Yeah, we've seen several knocks out of that corner, and remember that as we head toward the playoffs. Boy, you hate to give up and go in the playoffs.
Well, how about getting it fixed?
Yeah, it's tough because there is a little bit of a break between the glass and the stanchions. You can't really do much about it.
No, you can't do that. If it's on the boards, yes, but if it's on the glass. And what happens is when the puck goes up flat, it takes almost no difference or even a small separation to carom it out. If it goes in flat, it's different.
So the Canes have the lead. They also still have the power play. It's a major on Hartnell, and does not come out of the box. DeRosa serving the penalty for the Flyers. Flyers are clear all the way down here. Now I have a little less than 2 minutes remaining. Once the penalty time has run its course, if they can stay within one and then try to get back to the attack. Skinner with his second of the game, career high 33rd on the year. Both Skinner and Stahl with 2 goals in this game. Loose puck around the Philadelphia net. Skinner has it. Back out to Hainsey. And now it's Skinner. Knocks it down low. Out it goes to Hainsey. Now Akhtianov to Skinner. They switch positions. Skinner holding on. To Akhtianov. He's closed down the lanes there. Akhtianov looking, doesn't see a whole lot opening up. Now the back door. Here's the defenseman Harrison coming in. They go back out to Akhtianov for a shot. Save Heater. Rebound. Battling for pucks there. Nobody could get control of it. And now it's Akhtianov with 50 seconds remaining on the power play. Hainsey will flip it to Harrison. Back across Akhtianov. Now side of the net. Skinner. That one swung right through the blue plate off a deflection. Lindholm has it. Back to Skinner. Surveying and then flipping. Save Heater. Rebound. Braden Shen a chance to clear. Didn't get nearly enough on that. Akhtianov checked by Shen though, and Braden turns and fires it all the way down. That'll leave time for one more push into the offensive zone with a power play for Carolina. And then we'll keep an eye on Heater as the Flyers will probably try to get goaltender to the bench. Favor the extra attacker. Ball. It's onside as he dumps it deep into the zone. Derby retrieves. Derby out to Dwyer. His shot blocked. It bounces to Couturier. He lays it up for Gustafsson, who tipped it. Rose out of the box, but it's swatted back into the Philadelphia zone. No icing, they say. So Luke Schenn will get to Couturier. Five-a-side hockey. Voracek had to go off the back of his leg. Reed carries on. Reed sifting it in. Still has the puck. Then turned back with it. And backhands it toward the net. Peter staying in the net right now as Reed gets the puck back for Philadelphia. Reed twisting and turning as he works down by Eric Stahl. Move it back to Timonen. Timonen in along the wall. The centering pass eaten up by the Canes and cleared out to center ice. 1:15 on the third period clock. Here's Couturier surging in. Heater headed toward the bench. Extra attacker coming on for the Flyers. Here's Voracek. Voracek holding. Voracek getting away. Centered. It goes through Giroux back to Timonen, who kept it in and fires. Blocked. And now the Canes a chance to end it here. Dwyer check. Second try. Fired just wide. Not icing though as LeCavalier gets to it. To Giroux. Oh, Giroux. So many late game heroics from him this year. He'll float this one in. Hudobin trying to score, turns it over. Giroux down low, Voracek. Voracek to LeCavalier. LeCavalier holding on and turning it to the other side of the ice. Voracek. 37 seconds remain. Voracek holding on, back out to Streit. Streit back to Voracek. Voracek down low, deflected wide by LeCavalier. Giroux kept it alive to Timonen, back to Giroux. Giroux knocked out in the corner. Flyers not really surging to the loose puck here. A chance to clear, and it's knocked down by LeCavalier, and Giroux gets to it. Giroux center, bounces to Simmons, he whiffed. As that puck was bouncing, 15 seconds, back out Timonen. Timonen holds, cross ice, big blast strike. Second over, rebound Simmons, he scores! They just do not quit. It's what their whole season has been about. Simmons ties it with 9.5 seconds remaining in regulation. It's 5-5. Simmons scores for a case of tasty cake.
What a team. What an effort. Claude Giroux with a smart play getting it in, and Anton Hudobin thought, you know what? I might just try and go for the empty net. Wrong.
It's just unbelievable the way these guys could take control with the goaltender out. They had control of the puck. They never got outnumbered. They were always after it. They outchased, outdueled the Carolina Hurricanes. Hudobin made the initial save on that big shot by Streit. But Wayne Simmons, in his office, ties this hockey game.
His 29th of the year, a new career high for Coles in a season. He had plenty of time, 9.5 seconds left in the season, and he sets a new career high.
I can't tell you the number of Flyers fans that have come up to me and said, you know who my favorite player is in the Flyers? Wayne Simmons. And after the season that he's had, he's endeared himself to the fans. He's rough. He's a tumble guy. He can fight. He obviously can score. The effort is there. And he's a really unsung team leader.
Heater was thinking about going to the bench with 4.8 seconds remaining.
Too long.
A little bit too long, so they put Heater back out on the ice for this offensive zone draw. Cavalier will try to draw it back to Giroux. It's down in the circle. Scrum for it. And the puck just did not come out until just too late, and that shot batted away by Hudobin. So we'll have overtime in the final regular season game. Today's Flyers-Hurricanes game is brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Wells Fargo. When you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. We settle back for 5 minutes or less of 4-on-4 overtime. The Flyers 4-2 in games decided in the overtime, including the win yesterday in Pittsburgh. Hurricanes 4-7. Been a lot of overtime goals for and against. And we're underway. Fox sends one in, sticked away by Cal Heater. Eric Staal's shot goes wide. Got to think last game of the season, both of these clubs are going to really think offense here in this 4-on-4 overtime. And here's a chance for the Canes. A shot, save, Heater! Through heavy traffic in front, he denied Falk, and the Flyers move back the other way. Here's Coburn. Coburn moving on in his pass. That was off the back of Timonen skate, and now the Canes with a chance in the counter rush, but they misfire on the pass. Matt Reed. Moving up. Reed fires to Giroux for the shot. Save Hudobin. He batted it away from Streit. And the Canes do move back. Here's Lindholm. Getting it back and firing save. Heater. Get ready, goalies. The pucks are coming your way here in overtime.
Let's take a look at our second power back rehabilitation. Goal of the game is once again the Philadelphia Flyers. Watch this shot for the point. And Wayne Simmons, yes again, as the comeback hits. Do it again with just seconds to go. Tie the game at 5 and head into overtime.
And the Canes get control. Here's a shot by Harrison that takes off and finds glass. 3 forwards, 1 defenseman for the Flyers. Here is Streit, the 1 defenseman. The pass, the shot by Atkinson, and the pad saved by Hudobin. They said Atkinson tried to become the overtime hero and give his buddy Cal Heater a win right there. What a story that would have been. Instead, though, here are the Canes getting behind the defense somewhat. Here's Jordan Staal, shot. Save, Heater. Across it goes to Simmons. Wayne Simmons knocked down by Jordan Staal, who's trying to steal the puck as well. Strike gives him some help. Here comes Skinner. Flyers unable to come up with that. Here's Skinner with a shot, and that's nullified by the stick of the Flyers. Eric Gustafsson now has the puck. Gustafsson ahead to Wayne Simmons. Has two. Wayne Simmons moves on in, slows down, holds on. Not sure where he's going to go. He goes across ice to Gustafsson. Gustafsson back in front. Braden Shen, the shot. High and wide. Wayne Simmons wrapped up by Lyles. Spins away from him. The Wayne train will not be denied. He gets the puck to Gustafsson. Gustafsson the fake pass. Gustafsson centered for Coburn. Save Khudobin. Eddie hangs on.
When in doubt, send both D to the front of the net. Let's check out our Bud Light player of the game. It is Wayne Simmons. He got the Flyers rally continued, and then in the dying seconds of regulation, he now has taken the lead in goals scored for the Flyers away from Claude Giroux. It was goal number 29 for the Wayne train.
More impressive than that, though, really. 7 of those guys with 20 goals, and that bodes well on playoff time. Figure out how to defend this team. It won't be easy. Here's Eric Staal. Checked ever so slightly by Kimmo Timonen. Kimmo Timonen tying another man up, and Giroux has the puck. Claude Giroux, the miracle man, can't perform one here, though, as Vinny Lecavalier beat him into the zone offside.
Oh, Vinny wanted to hold back so badly, but he figured, listen, I'm going to take a chance. It's 2-on-2. G's picking up speed. He's going to catch me, but just at the last second, he went across the blue line.
There was no way JJ was going to pick up 2 of those in one season. Vinny was just a hair offside.
With Claude Giroux, I like my chances. He is coming up with some remarkable plays. You think back to that backhander against Columbus?
That was a remarkable call against the Chicago Blackhawks. In case anybody missed it, JJ said, does he have a miracle? And Claude Giroux scored. And the answer was yes.
Flyers get the puck here.
You can't script things like that.
There's Matt Reed trying to create something himself here. Back out to Couturier. And it down low, Voracek. Voracek. He's all wrapped up. Nowhere to go with that. Gets it back. We're going to get to Couturier. Couturier waiting. Back across. Here's Reed. He winds. He fires. Blocked.
Couturier was so wide open at the far side of the net.
Now Couturier has the puck again. Couturier flipping it to Voracek. Voracek floating one to the net. It's knocked down. Reed trying to get it back. Lyles checked by Couturier, who gets it to Reed. Reed back out right through the blue paint. Out the other side is Couturier. He and Reed in a game of keep away here. Couturier holding on. Back to Reed. That was bouncing on him, and now the other way it's Skinner. Hustling back Coburn. Boy, he can cover a lot of ground, Braden Coburn. He turns Skinner back. Skinner also at the end of his shift. He's slashing away at a fly over there by the bench.
This goes back to the second period. Matt Reed and Jeff Skinner.
I had a little duel with the sticks. One gave a shot, the other gave a shot. And somebody had to have the last shot.
Into the final minute of the overtime. Here's Jordan Staal all the way around. Nope, he's going to stop and get it back out to the point. Harrison, who fires one to the open corner. Giroux will play that. Giroux floating it out, hoping for Simmons, but he got Harrison instead. Harrison will send it back into the Philadelphia zone. There's Giroux again. Here he goes. Claude Giroux, 37 seconds remaining. He's going to fire this one in, hoping for Timonen. Then he gets it back. Here's Giroux to Simmons. He holds, he waits. Trying to pass it, it's blocked off. He gets it back. Simmons on the back end. 26 seconds. Ridden into the boards, and the Hurricanes have it. And they'll move up. Yuri Tlusty. Swinging wide with it. The shot deflected and went wide. Now it's picked up by Staal. He tried to close and could not as Peter was there to greet him. Atkinson to the puck. 7 seconds remaining. He dumps it back to Timonen. He goes across ice. One last blast all the way down. Khudobin makes the save on Streit. And guess what? We're not done yet. This regular season's not going away. We've got a shootout ahead as the Flyers and Canes are tied at 5 through 65 minutes of play. So Cal Heater gets to participate in a shootout in his first National Hockey League game. We'll have it for you when we come back. Welcome back, Wells Fargo Center, the season that wouldn't end. The Flyers and Hurricanes will have a shootout, so Cal Heater, as if he hasn't been under the gun enough, now has to deal with the shootout. Of course, this will be trivial come Thursday when the Rangers and Flyers begin their best-of-7 game first-round playoff series. It was a split. It was a homer series. The Flyers won 2 here. The Rangers won the 2 at MSG, where the Flyers haven't won in a long time. And really, the Flyers are the better offensive team. The Rangers have been the better defensive team. You want to simplify the matchup.
And we're so anxious to see how the Flyers approach the task of getting pucks by Henrik Lundqvist. I believe they're going to have to take his sight lines away. It'll be a great series, one way or the other. Rangers are a good team. Flyers are a team that will not die. You have to like their chances against the Rangers, regardless of who has home ice.
And you talk about scoring and talking about staying healthy. Chris Kreider, who led the series between the New York Rangers and the Philadelphia Flyers this year, will miss this round after having surgery on his hand. So that's a little bit of an advantage to the Flyers to begin this series.
Ryan McDonagh has also had some injury issues down the stretch, and he is so important to that Ranger club. He'll be playing, I do believe, but he hasn't been at 100%. All right, first, though, order of business is this shootout. Guess who's going to shoot first for the Flyers?
I'm guessing Jason Akeson.
You guessed right. Jason Akeson in his second NHL game. He's a skilled player, so Craig Berube says, why not? So Akeson against Khudobin to get the shootout underway. Flyers have won 3 of their 5 shootouts against the Canes going back in history. Here's Akeson, and Khudobin slams it shut with a poke check, sort of a sweep check, if you will.
Yeah, Akeson had the right idea. He just, I think, waited a split second too long to make this move. He was right in at the top of the paint, and all Khudobin had to do was push his blade of his stick out a bit.
Eric Staal roaring on in. He scores.
There's the advantage of that big man, the big reach, as he's going to come in from the left of Heater, and watch, that sticks out there, and he just drills a wrist shot. Heater fell back a little bit into that net.
Claude Giroux 5 for 10 this year, 43.6% for his career. He knows what he's doing in these shootouts. Deliberately on in, dinks, 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 and Khudobin able to get to the post. To hurt a ping too as it hit the outside of the post, but no goal.
Well, Claude Giroux was hoping that Khudobin would bite on one of his 36 moves as he got closer to him. But Khudobin just stayed patient. Look at Khudobin, just did not flinch.
Jeff Skinner 0 for 3 this year. He can finish the game right here as he cuts it out. Goal! Heater stayed with him and says no.
Skinner tried to get Heater to move first. So then all of a sudden he was going to come back across. Heater did a nice job. Watch, stays right with him. Didn't overplay it, and then by the time that Skinner came back on the forehand, Heater was waiting for him.
Sean Couturier must score to keep the game alive as he busts it on goal. Save, Khudobin, and the game is over. Khudobin celebrating with vigor as the Canes win the shootout. 1-0. They win the hockey game 6-5. The Flyers have now lost 4 straight shootouts, but guess what, folks? No shootouts in the Stanley Cup play.
That's right. And Khudobin celebrated after being the cause of overtime because he selfishly tried to score on an empty net when he shouldn't have. Cal Heater, what an experience, your first game in the NHL. He got lit up early, then dug in. The D got better in front of him, and they fought their way back. All in all, a very memorable Game 1 in the NHL for Cal Heater.
Now the season for the Flyers that started 4-10-1 ends up with 94 points. Quite a recovery indeed. And now it's about the Rangers. Flyers, Rangers, first round. Game 1 is Thursday night. Time still to be determined from Madison Square Garden. Can't wait. Here in Comcast Sportsnet. Awards handed out, and then a heck of a hockey game ensued. Carolina wins it 6-5. For the entire crew, as well as my broadcast partners Bill Clement and Steve Coates, I'm Jim Jackson, wishing you all a pleasant good afternoon from Wells Fargo Center. It's time now for the post-game show, presented by McDonald's. Here's John Boy.